Hero shakes things up with a top 8 finish, and we also have a sighting for Ritual Beast in top 16. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, this is an exciting breakdown here because it is very nice to see, you know, post-terminal revenge out here. People are kind of fed up with playing, you know, the whole Snake Eyes kit and caboodle out here. I don't really blame them for that. We've had so much of Snake Eyes kind of running around. It's people want to shift around and try out some of the other ideas kind of exist in this, you know, nice 2-little-week metagame out here. Now, your top 8 for this event, we had 2 branded decks. It is actually with great joy that I tell you that I'm happy to see branded kind of being an offbeat challenger here, kind of testing the waters and seeing what more that we can bring to the table across the board for the meta. So that's a very nice change of pace. We also had 1 Tenpai and 1 Snake Eyes, your standard metagame challengers that you're used to seeing are present here. Triff ended up making top with Mana DM. I assume that their list will somehow appear on their YouTube channel, or you'll get the chance to see that here in the near future. I would just be patient for where you could expect to see that. We also had a Yubel duelist with, I believe it was some Unchained stuff in the build, maybe not, kind of giving us a nice little showcase on what that deck can do. Unfortunately, I don't have that list, but that's fine because we have a Centurion Kashtira pile playing a Yubel package in it. I think that'll really entertain you when you get the chance to see that here in a sec. And then we also had a Hero duelist entering into the arena of, I did not expect to see Hero, like, at all this format. Like, the way that things have been with this meta and just how things have been maybe not the greatest enjoyable experience for this, I'm very happy to see, you know, with the shakeups and things. That's good. All right, so let's pass on over to those deck lists, shall we? All right, so winning our, actually no, this was making our top cut here. I believe this was 2nd place. Was none other than the branded experience here. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. These 60 card piles have been, I think, the current flavor for this deck. Not saying that, you know, they're not innovative, because they are. You just, every hand I feel like with this deck, you're still going to need to access the branded fusion. I mean, it's just going to kind of come down to, you know, what answers do you have for the boards that your opponent's going to be putting up? What sort of, you know, reverse outs are we going to have? Like, you know, will I be able to use, you know, buy steals to reverse engineer into getting to this? You know, did I open up a quest? Like, how are we structuring our opening hand? Also, still only playing 1 copy of the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. I don't think that's ever going to change. We are doing Triple Albion. Double McCreer is something of a little bit of a surprise here. I have not seen, I think most builds are still trying to focus on 1. So seeing 2 of this now is a nice little tech choice. We're actually focusing on triple Dark Ruler No More in here as well for the maximum board breakers. Okay. And the branded sword is back. Okay. This is another one of those cards I don't really feel like we see a lot. You know, it is a cute little tech choice, sure, but it's just kind of that. It's meant to be cute along the way. Still doing the one branded in white. Okay. In terms of numbers, I can't, when I look at, you know, these sorts of decks, I am always interested to see how, oh, hey, look, we opened up a Luber plus Saronir, and we have the Lubella out in hand with the Desires. All right, never mind. We're golden. Of course, we open up the 1 Tragedy, but we do have the 1 Albion here, and we do have a Desire. So we are getting places with this. Man, if that good card sticks to my hand. Now, we did get to the kit and the Fallen of Albaz. This should get us to a playable hand because we also have the branded Lost here. All right, I do accurately believe that this deck can do some very interesting things if need be. Okay, our Hero duelist. Only 2 Stratos. Bum, 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 bum. You know how many people are going to look at this and go, you need 3 Stratos. Honestly, these hero builds were kind of starting to get a little bit fat in terms of the numbers. You can tell by cutting down a Stratos, I mean, very easily, okay, if you really think you need the extra Stratos, you can play the 42. I don't think that's the proper call. I think that when you're playing this deck, you want this deck to be as optimized as possible. You need to keep things as streamlined as you can, or else you're going to run into some very big consistency issues. And that's the big problem that I have when kind of looking at these hero decks is hero players want to toss in as many resources as they can. whether or not, maybe they need crossouts in here so they don't die to Nibiru, which this build is not focusing on that. Actually, a nice little change of pace here. We don't have to focus on, little burnout cards. We're also playing 2 Drolls, 2 Ashes in here, and of course 2 Imprims. So I also find that kind of interesting. Post side decking down here, they're able to bring in the extra Ash, the extra Droll, and they have this little cycle going here so that, they can kind of clean up whatever that they might necessarily need for your option trees. And of course, hello, Dark Willow No Mores. Even this deck has some, love for the board breaking friends. And hello, Book of Eclipse. How are you? To be truthfully honest with you, I like what we're doing with this build. It's much different than what we're used to seeing. I mean, it's still the exact same premise, but, cutting down some of the fat, not having the crossouts in the main for the Nibirus. We've definitely gotten to that point in the format here that, kind of shaving off some of these more problematic cards that kind of exist in the course of the format definitely helps you out a lot. Good stuff, though. I did not expect to see heroes be successful at all. What in the world? We have Kashtira, Centurion with the Yubel package. Let this be noted that I believe that this is the first build, besides Labyrinth, that I've seen in the competitive top end of things that is using the Nightmare Throne package for its splash purpose. The whole point of this is you're using the Nightmare Throne to combine with these to make the Phantom so you can actually have, guess what, the true functionality of this, which is to rewrite effects so that you can, basically go uninterrupted via Centurion combo so you can do your thing. You're using the Kashtira stuff here is also like the control premise of things. Let's not forget the fact that Fenrir here is the best Goshtar mid-range control option that you could have. And then the Centurion stuff is going to be putting your boss monsters on the field, aka no fun allowed for your opponent. You have Final Ligma here, and of course, Cosmic Blazar Dragon as kind of a little bit of a back end here. I also see we have the Gravity Controller in here as well. I've seen people kind of mess around with this. It's definitely become one of those better cards that, maybe clearing something out of the extra monster zone, or maybe needing to, punch something out of the extra monster zone. So you can kind of do your thing. Also, hello, Dingrisu. I did not expect to see you here, but okay. This build's intricacies, I think, are very interesting. You have to remember, especially when you're looking at a lot of these builds and a lot of, how the meta is kind of unfolding out here, that being able to have giant, large amounts of outs to things, or to have different pieces of engines here to assist you. Because, I mean, this is a 5-card tech pile that you're just able to toss in here, get a free negate. And, I mean, unless you open up, maybe one of these bad cards, then that's just kind of the unfortunate side effect of that. There's not really much you can do about that, but this is beautiful. I want to see more splash like this. Oh, and 10th place, Ritual Beast. First of all, I did not expect to see Ritual Beast, I guess, kind of taking off in the way it did. I'm very extremely happy to see that the Ritual Beast players have been playing this. Like, this is so cool. We are focusing on the Nemesis package here, though. The fact that, the Nemesis corridor into the flag, also now that this deck kind of has access to the mini floodgates, is going to be a very important thing. Colossus is one of those cards that's definitely going to get you places. You do see the 2 Kanahawks, which I think is fine. Still doing the triple inheritance here. Okay. What else we got cooking back here? We are doing the 1 Rediari, the double Nose of Churio. The 1 Steeds. Okay. Some builds were playing the 2 Steeds. I did like the concept behind it. I mean, it's a little just extra search fodder to set on up so you can do your thing. Also, Steeds is not locked behind a once per turn, but I do kind of feel like you don't necessarily need the second Steeds. It's also a trap card, so it can be a little bit slower. You also do see we do have 2 crossouts built in here. I don't know how I would feel about having the 3rd. You're already at 43 cards, which you're jamming a lot of bricks into this pile as it is. We're also side decking the Protos down here, so in case, we have to turn into that duelist, we can very easily do so. Outside of that, the little Flame Banshee is kind of cute. This deck has some very interesting maneuvers. I'm looking forward to seeing what more people will kind of cook up with Ritual Beast, but what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.